Hmm. What's up, y'all? Gotta get this car washed. See how far I can go down this avenue. Anyway, been uh been been a while since I've done one of these. Trying to make a ton of content on TSP for the most part. Oh, fuck. Keep forgetting they tore up the road here. Definitely gets a little adventurous when there's no road and no markings on the road that's not here anymore. All right. Definitely a warm feeling day, even though the uh the thermometer says it's only 76 degrees. It definitely feels, well, my watch says it's 79. I don't know. It looks like I'm gonna have to stay hydrated this summer because this definitely feels warmer than what I'm used to. Not complaining though. Wow, that's not fun. finally get past the traffic. Yeah, it's definitely a nice day outside. I just haven't really felt like streaming a lot, when driving. I've just been kind of lost in my own zone. But I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. Wanted to get one of these out. Um, as some of you may know, after 136 episodes over 2 years, Black Power Magic Hour is no more. Fortunately, I don't trust that road. I don't think there's that yet. So I'm not doing that. Nope. And they definitely didn't. Gonna be fucking up my car. Shit. Um, but I really, really enjoyed doing that project. Some of it was, finally getting a paid gig. That was kind of cool. Um, but a lot of it was, a lot of it had to do with the collaboration process, putting out content that I thought mattered. I really thought that content mattered. Thought that content needed to be out there. Oh, an EQS. It's really not that good looking. Um, but I think I like to think that I did a decent job. I'd like to think that. But I really did enjoy that project. Ooh, massive pothole for no reason. New York City streets, huh? But it was fun while it lasted, I guess. Excuse me. I think that we did. I think that we covered a lot of important stories, and I don't think that I'm done. I don't think that I'm done covering important things that have to do with the environment, both as far as ecology is concerned and uh, economy. Jimmy Dean, man. You know, sitting in traffic allows me to interact with you guys a little bit more. Um, um, but having a nice winding road to be able to just kind of vroom vroom in, as Lewis Rossman would say, that would be cool. Thoughts on Juneteenth, and how you doing, Memorex? It has been a while, hasn't it? Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. You know, I'm gonna say something here that I don't know. Maybe it might be a little bit more popular of an opinion than I might assume. Let me tell you something, okay? There are going to be many important dates on the calendar. There are going to be many important days on the calendar, okay? And all of these dates do need the proper respect and commemoration. However, I find it to be extremely distasteful to see every for-profit organization looking to monetize every single significant event that we have on the calendar. Juneteenth is important to a lot of Black people. I believe it commemorates the actual freeing of the slaves and some such. I'm not really 100% on that, but I find it quite distasteful that companies like Walmart decide, we need to use this moment of reflection as a way to pad our pockets. And never mind the fact that this event commemorates the acknowledgement of 2 centuries or more of oppression of Black people. No, we're going to use that to make more money, and we're going to do that using using Black people and their pain, and we're going to try to get some money out of these Black people, and we're going to try to get a little bit of extra money off the white guilt. I find that to be pretty nasty. That's nasty business. And I understand that for-profit companies should be, going for profits and all of that. Like, do what you got to do, I guess, right? But it is one of those situations where, just because you can, does it mean that you should? Will your profit margins really be affected at all in either direction if you just kind of left that out of that? Just kind of leave it out. And obviously the the word pandering comes in, right? I look at what's happening in the month of June. Rainbows have now been co-opted to have some sort of sexuality meaning. So you can't wear a rainbow without making some sort of weird sexual statement. And now, we're living in a society that is still pretty much, this society is still very, anti-alternative lifestyle. Let's just be real about that. But these same entities that would never really respect people living alternative lifestyles. Now they want to convince you that they cared about you all along. They cared about you all along. And, for that fake care, can you put a couple extra dollars in our pocket? And we'll tolerate you, doing weird shit for a month in the street that we wouldn't tolerate from straight people. We'll do all of that, but we'll do that for $1. Just make sure you get paid. We got some players in the Tampa Bay Rays Major League Baseball organization who are taking heat because they want to wear rainbow patches on their jerseys. Like, since when should people be forced to make a political statement for or against anything? What up, Parental? How you doing, buddy? You know what I mean? Biden making it a federal holiday. It's a moment of import to greater than 1 in 10 Americans. Making it a federal holiday, I'm not going to argue against it, especially if somebody gets a day off or double pay because of it. I'm not going to. National holidays don't bother me, especially like I live in New York City, and let me tell you, every 3 days is a Jewish holiday. So for there to be one black holiday, not going to bother me. Um, but my thing is I'm if you want to have a federal holiday where somebody gets double pay or time and a half or any kind of consideration, I'm not gonna complain. Sub local 804. Thank you, sir. Z4. Hope you guys are getting good contracts, man. Oh, did they go? They're up for a new contract. Yes, sir. Stay hydrated. All right. You always gotta give some props to a union I used to be a part of. But yeah, if somebody's going to get time and a half, double pay, a much needed day off where they can take a day off of grind culture, I'm all for it. I got no problem with that. But my problem is with, taking very important, cultural milestones and then turning it into something that um, is just to, put more money in your pocket as if you ain't going to make money on that day anyway. Yeah, I think everybody's critical of Biden, Parental. Everybody is on the left and the right. You know, but one of the things that I really do dislike about political discourse is that I really dislike that people don't want to honor the concept of the broken clock is right twice a day. We really do need. Well, I'm not going that far, Memorex. I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far. Nah, no. But I will. I really wish that people would honor the broken clock principle, right? Donald Trump is a shitty human being, and he was a worse president. Okay. He said a lot of mean things that people have been wanting to say since before Obama was elected, and people were able to get some of that out of their system, so they deify the guy. Okay. I'm a New Yorker. I'm almost 40 years old. I am very, very well aware of who Donald Trump actually is as a human being. We people in New York, since he's from our neck of the woods, we have 5 decades of experience dealing with him. Most of you guys around the country know nothing about that man. You guys know nothing about Donald Trump. We New Yorkers, we know what he's all about. So that's why, Donald Trump gets no love in New York, because we know that he is the scum of the earth. That said, can we not give the man the credit that is due? There were a few things that he did that needed to be done. And people are going to find a way to demonize every single move he made when there's no need for that. Zero need for it. There were things that Donald Trump did that needed to be done and was not done by the previous administration. So why not give him the fucking credit for it? It's possible that somebody can enact a law or push legislation through or whatever, and it could benefit you, and the person that pushed it through could be somebody you don't like. How about that? I don't understand. I don't understand how people can't, well, this thing, Biden did this thing or signed into law some things that needed to be done, but, I still got to shit on him. No, you don't. And one of the things, I was talking to somebody about something, and the principle of constantly ragging on somebody just to rag on them, you lose the power of your criticism if you ended up criticizing every single little itty bitty thing, regardless of whether or not that criticism is warranted or not. What's up, Spamster008? Wow. To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wish that people would just be able to say, you know what? I don't like the guy, but I'm glad that he did something that needed to be done. How about that? How much is gas in New York? Well, it has not reached a level of the federal minimum wage. But just like the rent, gas is too damn high. Yeah, but again, like I don't think that again, whether he's orange or whether he has Parkinson's disease or what's the Alzheimer's, whether the guy is too black, he's too orange, or he's lost his mental faculties. If a law gets enabled by this particular president and it needed to be enacted, give him the fucking credit. So that when you do criticize him, your criticism goes a longer way. The last time that I filled up, premium was $5.49 a gallon. And I used some of my Citibank thank you points to get a 50-cent per gallon discount. But that was when I filled up my Mercedes-Benz. And my Mercedes-Benz has a 22-gallon tank, which was almost empty. So even with the 50-cent per gallon discount, the fill up of about 21 gallons, I think cost me, or 20, yeah, I think it was 20 gallons, was $99.98. And I saved $10 off that fill up. So do with that information what you will, right? I think terms in Congress would be a really good thing. The House of Representatives and the Senate, y'all motherfuckers just need to be swapped out, or something needs to change in the political system. Something needs to change in the political system that allows regular people to have a greater effect on what candidates are presented to them. I think that money needs to get out of politics. Money must leave politics. That's the only way that you will get decisions that are more policy oriented. As long as as long as there is money in politics, nothing is going to change for the better. E.g., that's a nuanced opinion that ain't none of us got time for. Just say something outrageous that makes us mad. Yeah. So, you know, yeah. But I'm we just me and Mrs. Evil, we just finished watching season 4 of The Wire, and I just want to remind all of you that you suck if you've never seen The Wire. You just suck as a human being. But this is her first time, watching through the series. And some of you guys know the guy that plays Mayor Carcetti in The Wire. He also played Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. His character is very much emblematic of what it is like trying to be a politician operating in good faith. When Carcetti was the president of the city council. Oh shit, iDry is here. How you doing? I shout out to TLA. There's no competing with the lead attorney. He does not give you lead advice because he's not your attorney. He's the lead attorney. I just found out that my barber will not be able to see me as I'm already on my way. Oh my God. Wow. Well, I'm in a little bit of trouble, but fuck it. I'm already here. That really sucks. That really sucks. Wow. I needed some grooming. If you guys can't tell, I definitely need some grooming. Yeah, man. Anyway, so damn, Deadman is here. Wow, we're getting a lot of love on today's stream. I really do appreciate you guys. But if you look at Carcetti, when he was the student, not student, city council president, he would say things that he knew needed to be said. He knew that he would score political points by saying the things, but he didn't know how he could not say those things because they just needed to be said. And when he does get elected mayor of Baltimore in season 4, I believe he does get elected in season 4. There's a problem where the school system was in a $54 million fiscal hole. Not 54, it was $48 million fiscal hole. And he is faced with the specter of taking money. Now, this guy just got into the he just got into the seat. Oh my God. This guy just got into the mayor's chair, and he's got, all of these issues. Are you gonna drive? Is somebody gonna drive? Drive, guy. I swear to God, these fucking Uber drivers pick out the worst decision they can make, and then they make it on a consistent basis. Not every time, but on a consistent basis. They think of the dumbest thing to do, and then they execute the dumbness flawlessly. Fuck me. Get out from behind this fucking truck. So if he takes the funding from the governor in Annapolis, Maryland, it will help the children in the schools that need the funding. But the governor was going to require that the city give up control of the schools, which would anger the teachers union. Taking that money would also anger the middle class and upper middle class folks that don't live in Baltimore County because they use state money to help inner city kids. So what Carcetti ends up finding out is it doesn't matter how altruistic your intentions are. Once you enter politics, there's no way that you can get anything done and stay completely on the straight and narrow. And I believe that there are a lot of people that enter into politics with the intent of making a positive change. And they never really get that chance to do so because the rest of the system is incorrigible. Oh yeah, simplistics, man. Evil, I told you about the new car getting hit. No. No. Wow. Yo, I dry. Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate it. I just, I think that it's important to recognize the limitations of politicians. I give you another example. The whole gun control debate, the mental health debate, the explosion of the instances of mass violence. People are begging the government to do something. But I think that it's important for people to understand that the government will not save you. Government will not save you at any level. Nope. I think that people believe that the government is the framework upon which society is built on, and nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. I think that government is a supplement. It's a condiment to society. You can't have a plate of spaghetti sauce, or you can't have a plate of mustard and then sprinkle in a little bit of pasta and meat on top of it. Wow. She's definitely looking for a sugar daddy. Um, if we want things to change in our society, we're gonna have to do it ourselves. And what that means to me is that we can't have the government legislating away mean words and ambivalence. We can't expect the government to enact laws to force us to care about each other. What we can do, what we can do is we can try to adjust or change or whatever, something that goes on, you know, the customs that go on in yeah, like we have to address and adjust the customs. You know, the things that we believe to be acceptable versus non-acceptable. And I think that I think that if we want to stop mass violence, notice how I said mass violence. I took the guns out of it. If we want to stop mass violence, we're going to have to change our culture in two ways. This first one's going to kill me, man, because I love John Wick. Let me tell you. We're going to have to wean ourselves off of our obsession and our titillation when it comes to violence in entertainment. I think that we are just like the Romans in a lot of ways, and their society fell not long after they were all sitting in the Colosseum watching people and animals be slaughtered. You know? Um, and the second thing is that we're going to adjust. We're going to have to adjust how we treat people in our day-to-day lives. You know, I did a live stream a few weeks ago after the Buffalo massacre, and I told you that compassion is the key. You know, you guys can say, well, these types of guns, or the fact that guns exist anywhere, you know, but that dude that ran those people over and killed that woman in that white empowerment uh march or parade or whatever the fuck it was, he didn't use a gun. His SUV to a crowd of people, right? So one of the things that we have to be honest with ourselves about is the fact that happy people don't do things like that. You know? He would never do something like that. Is it because he doesn't have access to guns? No, he's in the military. He has access to guns. But because everybody wants to be him in the infinite warfare community, and you know, people show deference and respect, blah, 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 right? what is the likelihood that he is going to feel so isolated and fucked up that he would do something like that? Very low. Chances are going to be very low. Randy Scott, how you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you. It was a white empowerment Christmas prayer. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. And again, we have millions upon millions of gun owners in our country. How many of them are involved in mass shootings? A very tiny percentage of them, right? Well, Parental, you're in the military, so I'm going to have to give you a little bit of deference on this. But from everything that I know, that I've learned from owners of AR-15s and users of M4s, the AR-15 is not a military grade weapon. It is subpar in regards to lethality to rifles that are used in in the military. You know, if you want to say that automatic weapons have no place in society, questionable. I don't really know where I stand on that, because I do know that, you know, nail guns can be used to kill people. I know that hammers, knives, swords, your penis, vagina, all these things can be used to kill people. You know, anybody who wants to be able to kill somebody, you know, there are a lot of murders in the prison systems. Ain't no guns in there. But you know what you do have? You have a bunch of hopeless, angry men or hopeless, angry women. You have those in the prison system. You know, the murder rates in prison are comparable, if not exceed the murder rates of a regular population per capita. So again, I don't want to blame inanimate objects for the problems that we have when those objects are put into use. So I'm very iffy on, you know, blaming it on the tool when the person using the tool needs examination. I do believe our obsession with violence in our country does have something to do with it on some level. I don't really know to what end, but I can tell you that as much as I love John Wick, I am a 0% risk of engaging in mass violence, because again, happy engage in violence against themselves or others. And I do believe that that is something else that people need to factor in to their equations. You know, there's a lot of focus on mass violence, but and self-terminations, because self-terminations are mass violence that didn't actually go outside of that person. You know, I've talked to you guys in the past about violence introverts and violence extroverts. Ben says, sorry to hear about your barber. I'm chat town myself because my dirty dude. Yeah, damn, we getting fucked over. Um, um, I just, you know, I grew up around people that have lots of guns, and I've grown up around also people who didn't have any guns, but they still committed acts of of technically mass violence. Let me tell you guys a story. And this story actually made national news. Somewhere around like 10 years ago, a woman I knew from when I lived in upstate New York, okay? A woman that I knew, she had this young son, and my next door neighbor was fucking her. I can't even really say that they was dating, but I know he was beating that ass. He was beating that pussy. He was beating that booty up. Okay, like they got down. All right, and he was a quiet guy too. He wasn't like one of these guys that'd be all up in your face. But man, he tore them hoes up. I just got to say it like that because he went to all kinds of Pound Town. Shy guy too, but damn, damn. All right. Um, but that was short lived, as most relationships in the teenage years are. Short lived. They burn hot for a little while. They flame out. I hung out with her a couple of times, and she had a young son, and she was a little bit on the wacko side, just a little bit. But I saw her as the typical hood chick that I guess was trying to do the best she could, trying to raise this kid. Not long after I moved back to New York City, a lot of guys that I was neighbors with, that I was cool with, they went their own separate ways. Adulthood hit. And around a decade ago, I found out that she had 3 more kids after this boy. And maybe it was a little bit more than 10 years ago. And I read, or I saw it on the news, that a woman packed her 4 children into a motor vehicle and then drove off a pier into the river. She packed herself and all 4 of her kids. And I looked at it and I was just like, wait, that name looks familiar. When I read the article, and I was just like, oh shit, they spelled her name wrong. Same chick. Same fucking chick. Now, the oldest of the children escaped through a window and he survived. That was the same boy that I used to sit and babysit for her for, an hour, half an hour at a time. Same kid. Same fucking kid. She, along with her other 3 younger children, all drowned to death. And that made national news. Now, that wasn't a mass shooting, right? But 3 people plus the self-termination, right? She wasn't really an extroverted person like that, but she was a violence extrovert. She definitely was that. And when she was ready to go, she tried to take all of her children with her and succeeded at a 75% rate. And there was no gun used. She didn't she didn't threaten her kids at gunpoint to get in the car or anything like that. She didn't have a gun, but she was living in abject misery. And it was something that I saw when we were teenagers. I saw it. I seen it. So many people take their lives every day. So many. And there really isn't a whole lot of conversation about that. No, it was definitely mental health because she wasn't really a drug addict like that. Okay. You know, if I had my 2DA rights respected, I definitely would be carrying 100%. You know why? And, oh, and my women would be carrying too. You know why? Because niggas be wilding. Ah, 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 ah. They wilding. So yeah, you know, I think uh I think that these subjects definitely need more examination than just mental health, guns, Biden, Trump. No, we need to actually brainstorm these things, people. Anyway, I will see you in the next stream. Thank you for driving with me today. Yeah.